excited about this true notion of aletheia, the truth. Now, the German intellectuals in the beginning of the 20th century realized that there is a clear and very crucial distinction between Athens and Jerusalem. Athens was about truth, about ethics, about tolerance, many gods, and many shades. And love was free for real. Not because I have to identify as a gay if I want to be with a boy. I don't. I could just love a boy because that's what I feel today. This was Athens. Jerusalem, they realize, is the opposite. One God, yes and no binary opposition. No tolerance. If you don't believe in God, we slay you. We kill you. We slay your throat. No ethics. In Jerusalem there is no... Sorry, I just hit the microphone. In Jerusalem, was it loud on the mic? All right. Sorry. In Jerusalem, there is no ethics. Have you ever thought about it? The 10 Commandments. This is the opposite of ethical thinking. Don't kill. Don't drink. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Laws, 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 laws. This is not ethics. These are laws. Ethical people don't need laws. You know that it's not nice to kill. Chomsky, Butler, identity politics. This is Jerusalem. Many, many Jerusalems. Jerusalem of the black, Jerusalem of the gay, Jerusalem of the Jew, even the Jews have Jerusalem. Jerusalem of the Zionist, Jerusalem of the anti-Zionist, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. And we have collective ideological discourses that do not allow us to move. I started this talk talking about Trevor. Trevor stood up and said, Hitler was very popular in Germany. Should we call him a dictator? Now this is a legitimate question. Instead of addressing this question, they invested this guy, what is his name, Craig Berlin, from this town, runs a campaign to destroy him, putting pressure on his family, on his girlfriend, on her family, on all his friends, on musicians. This is Jerusalem. Spinoza went through it. It's called Cherem. Daniel de Costa went through it. Jesus Christ, you remember there was a guy? He went through it. They nailed him to the wood. I don't care about the question who killed Christ, but I'm pissed off with people who kill Christ around us, within us. And this Craig Berlin is a Christ killer because he tries to murder this beautiful soul, and he doesn't even understand it. And more than anything else, he brings a disaster on himself because he's doing it as a Jew. So he's a Jew Christ killer, and this is a disaster. And I don't know Trevor for that long, but I'm sure that you will find forgiveness in you. But this exact forgiveness is the thing that this Craig Berlin cannot find in himself. And this is the difference between Trevor from Athens and Greg Berlin from Jerusalem, who apparently lives in Austin.
Athens, Texas?
Sorry?
Athens, Texas?
Athens, Texas, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
There is a Palestine.
Sorry?
Palestine, Texas.
Yeah, there is one.
Yeah, I know. And yeah. And there was the, yeah. Any more questions?
This might be a loaded question. I talked to you earlier about the Holocaust and the role of different Zionists in that. Can you comment on that more extensively?
Yeah, you were referring to this Barry Heinisch.
Hitler, she had a man who's like a Svengali. You're talking about the man who...
And no, the gentleman here was referring to this, he's an ultra-Zionist guy, he's a settler, I think. And he actually argues that the Holocaust was partially the Zionist left was complicit or is complicit in the Holocaust. Yeah, and to a certain extent he is correct. This is something that you have to accept when it comes to Zionism, and maybe when it comes to political discourse in general. It is not nice to admit, but right-wing people, libertarians, have this unique tendency to tell the truth, while the progressive or the left would agree to lie in the name of the cause. This is what it is. They have a reason. I don't buy this reason. We watched today a video, a very devastating video by a Jewish racist, right-wing, probably the most hated Jew in the 20th century, Rabbi Meir Kahane. Yeah, I didn't have the guts to watch Meir Kahane until recently, because a friend of mine, a professor of Jewish studies, told me, Gilad, you know, if you want to understand where Israel is now, start to dig in Kahane in the 80s. And Trevor, it was just the two of us, no? Yeah, Trevor and myself watched it. I want to publish it, to republish this segment, and he was telling. He was coming with a chain of anecdotes, and they were all truthful to the bone. And eventually he ended it, and I agreed with everything he said. And eventually he said, I'll give you some examples. He said, there is a clear dichotomy between the Jewish culture, Jewish people, and democracy. He actually says Israel can call itself democracy, it can never be democracy. You're either a Jewish state or democracy. Is he right? Yes. He says there in the 80s, I understand that Arabs cannot live in Israel as long as it is the Jewish state. I understand them. He said. And then he drew a conclusion that is very frightening. But this is exactly where the Israeli society is. He said, in the end of the video, he said, when I'm the Prime Minister of Israel, Arabs won't be killed, because there won't be Arabs. We will kick them out. Okay? This is where Lieberman is. This is where Bennett is. This is where Israeli right wing. Israelis want the Palestinian gone. So this right wing, let's say Nazi, which I don't like, I don't like because